Hello, everyone. Welcome. I am Linda Israel, and thank you so very much for coming to my live stream here on YouTube. I greatly appreciate your support and for taking the time to come here and hang out. There are a few things that I want to go over before the actual live started, so this is a recording. First of all, I want to make sure that you like this video and subscribe, so give it a thumbs up. I greatly appreciate that. When you subscribe, make sure you hit that notification bell up in the corner. That way you'll get a notification whenever I upload a video. I have a broadcast post or even a live stream. If you're watching this video as a replay and you're on a computer, look for the little gear at the bottom. You can change the speed to speed it up. Or if you're on a mobile device, look for the little three dots and usually you can change the playback speed there. My live streams generally last about 2 hours. They can go as long as 3 hours. It kind of depends on what we're working on that day and how the feedback is in the chat. While you're watching, you earn junk bucks. So if you are here in order to get those junk bucks accumulating, go ahead and type hello in the chat and my little bot, Junkie Joe, will see you and then you'll start accruing junk bucks. And you're wondering, well, what do I do with those junk bucks? Well, you can accumulate those, and once you have 2,000 of them, you can type !award and you can redeem them for a $10 off coupon to my shop. You can earn junk bucks while you're here and when you are chatting, as well as when you play the in-chat game. So look for those as they come up, and if you make a donation. For those of you that make a donation during my live stream, make sure that you go over to my website at lindaisrael.com, and if you haven't already done so, create a user account. When you make a donation during my live stream, basically you're buying a membership to my website and to the live stream. In my opinion, what we're doing is you're accumulating that money in my account. Thank you for that donation. And as a reward, you will get 5% off your orders at lindaisrael.com. And during the live stream, if I have a journal that I'm giving away at the very end, you are eligible to win that journal. Anybody that makes a donation gets into that drawing by manually typing in the raffle at the end, but then you also get the discount membership on my website. Thank you to Robin, who is my administrator during the live stream. She helps me out with answering questions as well as giving information. She is also my administrator over at the Friendly Junk Journal People Facebook group. If you haven't joined that group, please do. We'd love to have you over there. You're welcome to share what you're working on. Speaking of sharing, during the live today, you can speak up in the chat and say, hey, I have a YouTube channel. You will not be able to share your link to your channel, but you can at least say, hey, my name is, and this is what I do. And then your friends that come into the chat can follow each other. Let's keep the chat upbeat, friendly, and helpful. If you will be kind to those that are here. If you have a question, put it in all caps and I'll do my best to answer those. The chat sometimes goes pretty fast, so I don't always see it, so do ask again. And at the same time, if you're in the chat and you know the answer to somebody's question, please speak up and give them the answer. Check the description box for links to products that I share today. Yes, I am an Amazon affiliate, which means I do get a commission on items that you purchase through my link. If you're going to buy something anyway, I greatly appreciate it. It does not cost you any extra. It just gives me a little bit of a commission, which helps me buy products to show you here. If you win one of the raffles, you can start right now by typing !raffle. Do make sure that you go over to my website, and if you haven't already, created a user account. That way I will have your contact information so I can send you your prize. I am starting a raffle right now that is for 200 junk bucks, so you can get well on your way to accumulating your junk bucks. Let's have some fun today and let's get started. Thanks everybody for being here. I think we're live. Hello. It lives. It lives. Or I do. I don't know what you want to say. Hello, everybody. Welcome. I'm trying to get my chair situated here. Okay, I got that. Her Hercules has left me. He's probably outside because it was really pretty weather out and he wanted to go out. Hello, Julie and Sherry and Bonnie and Jennifer. I know that Robin had to work and she may show up after 5 o'clock. She has a meeting. And with that being said, I am going to... Oh, have you left him? I haven't checked my website in a few days because I keep having problems with my messages. I'll check that out. Hey, Beverly, if you are interested as one of my regulars of being my administrator during my live streams, definitely reach out to me and let me know because I am going to need someone to replace Robin. She is about to change positions with the work that she does and go full-time instead of part-time, and she won't be available on Monday. So I'm going to be looking for someone to take over for her. So if that's something you're interested, let me know. How is everybody? Are y'all doing well? Have you had a great week? I've been busy. I've been working in the yard a little bit. Oh, I guess I should show my nails. I did do some new nail designs. So these are little daisies, I guess you could say, that I've put on some orange just for some fun. And I've been working out in the yard. Let's see. Working, playing with the dogs, hanging out with some friends on Saturday night. They came over and we had a little bit of a cookout where we cooked some stuff outside and then we ate and then we went outside and hung out for a while. Yeah, I know we love Robin. I love Robin a lot, and I'm so grateful for so many years of her supporting me. It's been amazing, and you don't find that very often. Most people have to move on to something else, so we're so glad that she's here when she could be here. All right, what else? Last week, I had a bunch of scraps on my desk, and I had them in all kinds of little tubs and whatnot, and I have sorted through those. So this is pretty much the miscellaneous pieces that were left over on my desk, and I haven't decided what I'm going to do with them yet. I may end up assimilating those into some of my other storage, but this is what I got it down to. These are some pieces that I made using the scraps that were left on my desk and that little bucket of things. So, for example, I had some images that were from an advertisement that I put on some papers, and I added some digital images. I had these little images that were from Canvas Corp brands. Thank you, Julie. Thank you, Jennifer. Thank you, Bonnie, for being here. So I had these from Canvas Corp brands. Yes, Canvas Corp brands. And they were all kinds of little label things. So I cut up quite a few of them. So here's another one. And then I just found scraps of paper that I already had and kind of put those together. What else do I have in here? Oh, this was something else that I saw. I had this piece of paper, and then I had paper punched out of a security envelope, and then I had this text from Calico Collage, and I just made a little pocket. And then these were stickers, and I layered them on a piece of black cardstock that I stamped with embossing powder, and then this was a watercolor paper that I made a while back, and I glued it onto some cardstock from Canvas Corp brands. And I kind of paired things together when I thought they went together. Sometimes I just made a thing. This was a pocket piece that I used my Cricut to cut a whole bunch of, and then I finally put some together. What else? This was a prototype that I started a while back to put multiple pockets holding these little file folders, and I haven't done anything with it yet, but I thought, well, I'll put it in this little tub, and if we're inspired to use it today, I'll have it. This was using a watercolor background that I had made a long time ago, and then I had a chipboard piece. This one is a little bit broken, but it was a chipboard piece that I had painted with white acrylic paint, and then I sprayed it with different colors of Tattered Angels and placed that on top. And then here's some more layering, one of Norella's images. So I'm just trying to use up all the different pieces that I found. Maybe they are a little bit random. Like this is a Cricut cut, I think it's a Cricut cut image, and I put it on some black paper that I gold embossed. And then this was a prototype of a rubber stamp that I had stamped out, and I was playing around with watercoloring it, and I just layered it, and I thought, well, that kind of goes together. So there's just a few different things here. Some of them may be ready to apply. Some of them may need some more embellishments. Isn't that cool? There's lots of fun things here. All right, so I'm going to lay this over here. And then I've made a bunch of pages, so we've I'll kind of flip through those so you kind of get the idea. Where I had papers, these were mixed media papers, they were gel prints, they were scrapbook papers. Whatever it was that I had, I just kind of randomly put things together. Digital images from Calico Collage. If you're ever wondering, any digital image that I show is from Calico Collage. She's the creator of it. I may have some accessible on my website, and then the rest are through her Etsy shop. So there's some few pieces there. Here's some more. Kind of playing with that green. Made a little cluster there. This was some more of one of my mixed media backgrounds, and then I used scraps on top. This is wallpaper, and then I made some journal cards to go into the wallpaper pockets. So everything's fair game, right? We can use it all. Some more that I made. Just lots of different layers and colors and whatnot. There's some that are finished. These are all finished, I think. Yeah. There's one that's finished. This is a paper sack that I cut up. And these are some mop-up papers that I made. And then these are just some extra papers that are ready to embellish, as well as some sheet music. And then here's some that I've started. So I've picked out a few things to kind of layer. There's a pocket here. Here's another one where I've got pockets, and I just grabbed some large journal cards to put in the pockets. And oh, same here. These were some large pockets, and I just added some stuff. So I've got all of these that are ready to be used or added to. And then I went ahead and went through, well, set these back here. I went through all of my scrappy pages, and I've layered them in the bag. I use Ziploc bags or zipper storage bags to kind of store my scraps until I put them away in my big box that I have. So I have a big Ziploc bag in there full of papers. And once I'm done with this project, then all my purple papers will go in my purple box, etc. So here are some purple scraps. And then here's what I've started so far. This was a journal card I made a while back, and I just kind of stuck that in there. This was a little pocket that I had made a while back that I stuck there for now. I've added these pockets onto a painted book page, and then I've got some layers that I've kind of played around with. Here's one of those little pockets I showed at the beginning that I've made, and I haven't attached it yet. And then here is another one. So, do we want to start with purple? Purple paper? I'm going to set aside all the other colors. I'm going to keep the purple scraps available so we can do things with that. And let's lay this page over here. And let's start with this. So I've got these pieces that I wanted to use. I haven't done anything with this side. It's got a little scuffy marks on it, but otherwise it looks okay. So do we want to attach a full page to the back? Maybe, because this was scrapbook paper that I layered, and there's a pocket here. So I'm thinking maybe that would be kind of pretty to have that on the other side, and we could add some more writing space on top of here. Should we add writing space that's glued directly down, or pockets? Purple is good. Okay, good. Oh, are you winning, Sherry? Good job. All right, let's do this. I'm going to glue this down. I'm just using Aleene's tacky glue. I reuse this little bottle because it's easier to hold. And I buy the great big bottles, and I'm due to buy some more. I don't know what I'm going to do. I used to go to Joanne Crafts, and whenever they would have a coupon, I would use it to buy my glue bottle. But now that, have they already officially gone out of business, or they're still in the process? I don't know. I haven't checked. Anybody know the answer to that? You like it, Julie? You like my pattern paper? This is another one of my gel print mixed media papers that I made a while back, and I liked it so much that I scanned it into my computer, because all of the markings on this piece of paper were my creation. So that is a stencil here. So this is a stencil. This is a separate stencil. This was a spool, an empty spool that I used. I don't see it here. I think it's over my mixed media stuff. So I just kind of made a background that I worked on, and then I scanned it into my computer and I changed the hue. So I have this in several different colorways, and I like the way that that turned out. All right, so this one I feel is all ready to go. So I'm going to just pop that into the pocket. And this was a scrap. A friend of mine, okay, how do I explain this? A friend of mine introduced me to a young lady whose mother was a craft hoarder, and she moved into a smaller home, but left behind a 2 bedrooms worth of craft supplies. So I went over there and picked up some of this, and this was one of the pieces because she had made wedding invitations. Anyhow, I've been trying to figure out ways to use all of those, and I'm thinking maybe we need to put something across the top there. And I just saw this little piece of paper. So what if I were to put that right across the top, and then that would peek out behind, and we'll get some nice texture. So I'm going to turn it over and get a pen and mark it. So I'm going to mark it here and cut this down. So what has everybody been working on? What have you been doing? I kind of explained that I've been playing around in my craft room and been working out in my yard. I also shared a picture on social media of what I do with some scraps using a label stamp. I think I have it here. So I have all these labels that I have rubber stamped on scraps of cardstock in different colors, and so I put them all in little zipper bags by color theme so I could use them. And this is so handy. So if I want to lay one down that is purple, so I'll get the purple out, I have a purple label that I can use pretty quickly. All right, I'm going to put that right here at the top and glue this down. Nothing this week. I hope you're feeling better. I know you didn't feel good last week, wasn't it? It sucks when no one feels good. All right, I'm going to put that right across here. And I'm going to turn this over and press it from the back side. help smooth out that glue that's behind there. I made these just as I was starting the live, and I don't know, do we want to do that? I can put that on here, and then this will go right behind. That'd be kind of pretty, wouldn't it? I want to add some, should we add some purple? I've got the purple here. I got the purple. I'm just using what was already on the brush. Had just enough, I felt. Didn't even have to open up my stamp pads. I'm going to go ahead and add some distressings on the edges here. Okay, I think that looks good. Like that. Let's go ahead and glue that together. This is painted paper, so I'm going to use beacon glue, the 3-in-1 in this case. I think we need to put something on the little pocket, so I'll dig through some of my ephemera pieces that I have handy here. You have 4 days off this week. You had to go out and then too tired or lazy to craft. You were busy, busy, busy bee. Out, out, out. What did you do while you were out? Did you have errands or did you go on an outing? Okay, I think that looks good like that. So what do we want to put over here? I've got these labels. I just saw this little image. And maybe some of the fussy cut flowers. I have some butterflies. Trying to see if there's anything else in here that I feel works. I may use this on the other side. Make it into a pocket. Okay, so let's see here. I have this kind of purpley one or this purpley one. I think I'll go with this multicolor one. A technique that I haven't shown, if you want me to, let me know. But I watercolored these. First, I laid down a really light color over the whole flower and let that dry for just a little bit. It was still kind of damp. And then I changed colors and went a little bit darker and started in the middle and kind of fed those out. And that's what kind of gave it this faded look. I don't know how well it shows up on camera, but I think that looks good. Now, do we want to put a label on here? So I've got a big one we could put or a smaller one. And I'm kind of thinking maybe a different shade of purple. This one's a different shade. I think like that maybe, or even this one. It's a lot darker even. Still. Darker? Something like that. I don't know if I should make that label crooked. We got the other things are crooked. Hairdresser, church, visit dad, physio, grocery shopping, and today lunch with friends. Oh, well, fun. It sounds like you've been busy, busy, busy. I like those days when you can go visit a friend, which reminds me, Jennifer, we need to get together soon and have lunch. Let me know when you're available. Okay, I think I like that. So I'm going to glue this down in a moment, but I want something over here. I'm going to look. Oh, that's right. I have this one that I was going to put over here. So I'm going to need a card. I have these that says violets and pinks, and I didn't add anything on top of it. do I need to, or just put it in the pocket? Y'all let me know. I think I'm going to go ahead, and this is going to go on this side, but I need a card to go down inside. So I'm looking real fast to see if I had something already made. I've got my little box of goodies here. This might be good. What else do I have here? Is this an envelope? It's just a little envelope. We might use that though. Take things out of here and put them somewhere else. Oh, I've got some just little pieces of cardstock, so maybe we'll use some of those. Hey, Margie! Eating messy ribs? Ooh, I bet you those are good. I sometimes put on rubber gloves while I eat ribs. Okay, so I was thinking of putting this little card in there, maybe. And maybe, I don't know, I may use this as a pocket on the other side. Let's see what we got. All right, put these back over here so I can find them again later. Let's fold the page in half so I know where my center is. I should have scored it first, but sometimes I get impatient. Okay. I'll line that up a little better. There we go. All right, so this is going to go over here. So I'm going to layer that down in the middle here. Thanking DoorDash. Oh, Henry made some ribs a few days ago. They were really good. We have an electric smoker that we got years ago, and we've been very blessed to have it. One of our cherry trees died, so Henry cut it down and he saved some of the wood. And then a friend of ours cut down a pecan tree, so he got some of that wood, and he smoked the ribs with the cherry and the pecan wood. It was really quite tasty. I think I'm going to leave it straight and kind of in the corner there. Something like that. Should we put anything else on there or just pop it in the pocket? I am going to go ahead and glue this one down though. Chili makes really good ribs. Oh, good. Chili's ribs. I don't think I've had Chili's ribs. I've had their hamburgers, and I think they have a salmon that they put on a cedar plank. Maybe some chicken wings or something. We don't hardly eat Chili's. We don't hardly eat out, whether it be, you know, order in and bring it home. I don't know, should I do that? Should we round the corners? Let's round the corners. Okay, and I think if we add some distress inks to that, it would look pretty good too. I don't know what we're having for dinner. We had some leftovers, so we may end up doing that. I know that Henry ordered groceries. We get them delivered through the Kroger's app, and they're usually delivered at our shop because we're usually there during the day. I think I like that. Do I have anything else that I think would go? I'm kind of just digging through some of the ephemera pieces. I may use that on the other side. Okay, let's flip this over. I have this piece that we could use as a pocket, and it kind of blends in with the page. So let's see. I have this purple. So if we bordered that with that purple, that would look good on there, wouldn't it? And it would give me an opportunity to make a gusset, because I thought this might go inside, but it would be a really tight fit. Let me see this one. This could go inside too. And we could add a little thing on here. Okay, so here's what I'm going to do. I am going to position this okay, I need a half an inch, and then I'm going to need a half an inch plus. So this side has a scuff mark on it. So here's what I'm going to do. This I'm actually going to use a ruler, because what I want to do is mark this at half an inch, just so I know where that is. So I'm going to mark that, and then I'm looking at this. That is, you know what I could do to make it easier is I need a half an inch. I need an inch. Okay. So then on this side, I need to cut here. And then while this is here, I need to go down an inch and mark there. It'll make sense in a moment. Just give me a second. All right, so first I'm going to cut off this bottom piece. And I'm going to cut off that side, right? Isn't that what I just decided? If I put that here. Yeah. All right, so now what I need to do is I need to score this. Where's my scoring tool? Score that down the side. I'm going to score it on this side. And then I'm going to score the bottom. And now, because I did that, this should fit right in the middle, not upside down. And then I can put this piece on the page, and it gives us a nice border all the way around. What do you think? I think what I want to do is I want to stamp that background in, just because this is text weight paper. There's a scrap that I had. I'm going to take a piece of book page and glue it across the top here. It was just a scrap laying here on my desk. Whenever I cut off the edges of gel prints, I'll save them sometimes. You just planted tomatoes and jalapenos yesterday? Nice! I planted in pots to get started some tomatoes, Roma tomatoes, and some yellow squash and zucchini squash. All right, I think I want to stamp around that outside edge so that it's not that stark purple, I guess. Just kind of add a little bit more texture. Let's do the henna rose. It's already on a block. That's how I roll sometimes, right? All right, I'm just kind of going all the way around. So if you have plain paper that you want to modify, you can try stamping on it. All right, so I'm going to cut the corner here, and here, and here. And then let's add some distress inks to the edges. And we'll also add this. Now, I think I should stitch this piece on. What do you think? Do you like the idea of stitching that piece down? I could, in theory, make it a secondary pocket so that there's a pocket here and here. What do you think? Let me know your thoughts. Let's go ahead and do this one. Royal blue cardstock. Everybody's definition of royal blue is different. Some people say royal blue is actually closer to purple. Some people think it's closer to a sapphire. I have this shade of blue text weight paper. But Julie, if you don't have that color of paper, buy that color of paint. And paint your own papers. Double pocket, Margie says. Okay. I think what I'll do is, I don't need an additional gusset. I'll just glue it really close to the edge on here. Okay. And then we'll make something skinny, because this is 1, 2, 3, and 3/4. So if I find maybe 3 inches of something, can fit in that front pocket. And then we'll find something to go into the back pocket. All right, just gluing that into place. Cleaning up the excess glue. Now, I had intended to put this one in here. It gets buried when it goes in, so I may save that for something else. I have a piece of cardstock that we could use for that front pocket. Maybe we could layer some other paper on top. Ooh, I've got this. Maybe I got a little piece of sheet music, and maybe we could get, oh, I've got this rose. I think that kind of makes a pretty little, nice little, yeah, gel print the paper. Yeah, hello. Just because you don't have that color. Ooh, look at this purple cardstock. Okay, I think I have to make something with that purple cardstock. I do. I'm going to trim it. So, what is this? This is 4 1/4. Let's go. Do I want to do 8 inches? That's a little further up there. So maybe let's do 7 1/2. And I have a smaller piece. Maybe we'll use that somewhere else. Okay, so this would go here. And then these I need to trim. So I'm going to do this. I'm going to trim this one to be, where's my ruler? If I go to 6 inches, that'll make a nice little border around the edges. So I'm going to do 6 inches. So that would go in here. Okay. And that means this one needs to be 5.5 inches. 5. Is that right? 5.5. Yeah, 5.5. All right, so this piece can go on here, and then this piece will go on here, and then this piece can go here, like that. Makes a nice little layered piece. Naomi, well, hello. Welcome. And you're early. Last time you were late, we were almost done. How are you, young lady? I hope you and yours are well, your kiddos and your husband and all. All right, and I'm going to go ahead and add some distress inks to this piece. Have you been creating? Have you been crafting? I know with your new job after you graduated and became a nurse, you've probably been busy. And raising kids too. All right, so now, if I put this here, I don't know if I want the leaves coming down, maybe. Kind of at an angle. I think that'll work. Let's glue these together. Okay. Get that centered down. All right, where did it go? I had to find my bone folder again. Okay, then we'll do this piece. Guess I need to glue the pocket down, and we need to figure out what we want to do with the glitter paper. I could just leave it as glitter paper. I may round the corners and add a little bit of distress ink to it. Okay, so let's glue this one down like that. Got a little scrappy scrap here. I can't tell if I'm missing out on the chat because it haven't moved in a little bit. Okay. Hey! We're good. All right, so I'm just kind of centering that from left to right, and then whatever that is, I'm doing the same at the bottom. This is going to be a chunky page. All right, so this one is going to go in here. So you'll see that rose peeking out. And let's round the corners of this one. We are blessed. I had a neighbor. She was such a neat lady that you would ask her, Elaine, how are you? And she says, I am blessed. It didn't matter if she did not feel well, if she was sick. She always said, I am blessed. You're crafting at your desk. Too hard to chat. What are you making, Bonnie? I always like to know what other people are working on. It's kind of fun to see. Although you can't really see it in the camera, just adding a little bit of distress inks all the way around. And then look how that looks behind. I'll get it centered. That looks cool. I like it. Fancy paper. All glitterified. Okay, that looks good. All right, so we need something over here. And I just happened to see this little tear-off page. Let me see if I have. I do. There's one open. There's one. I could. Do we want to do it this way? I think that looks more natural, like you would have layered this behind. Maybe we can stamp around the edge of that. Let me add some distress inks to this piece. You love it? Thank you. Journal pages for it. Oh, a daisy journal. Oh, nice. Now, are you using a kit, or are you pulling from things like magazines and junk mail and rubber stamping and making your own design? I'm getting a little leaf stamp, and I'm going to stamp around the edge. I don't know if I think I used one of Norella's daisy kits a while back and made a daisy journal, but I don't remember. I have a fairy tale journal that I need to finish that I started of Norella's. I should get that out next. Maybe that's what I'll do next. I know that Jennifer wanted me to do an 80s theme, but I'm not feeling it. Plus, I don't really know what I would use that I would already have, and I do not want to buy anything new at the moment. So I have to let that percolate a little bit to figure out what is it that I want to use? What would I use? So how about something like that? And see if I can find something. No, that would be too much. I don't need that. We have a peacock there. Maybe a butterfly? Let's see if I've got... This one is more pink, but I could alter... Oh, but I had this blue one. I could alter that blue and make it a little more purple since it's already fussy cut. That's the beauty about some of this, you know. You spend a little bit of time working on it, and it may not be the perfect color, but if you grab a colored pencil... I'm going to find a purple. None of those are purple. Oh, here's a purple. That's a Crayola brand. And I got my water, but I think it's dried up. Do I got another one in there? I have a paintbrush over here if I have to. Okay, that's got water in it. Sorry, didn't bump the camera there. All right, so I've got purple. And I'm just going to come in here and add a little bit of purple on top of what's already there. and use my water brush to paint it a little bit. Trying to water it down. Okay. Go this way too. I think I need a little bit more around this edge. Okay. Clean the brush. Put it back. All right, so now if we lay the butterfly over here, now we've got some layers of color in purples. I think I like that. Maybe we should also get the labels out again. And I can put one down here. I could put one here, having these be two separate thoughts. Should I do that one or this pink? Let me go ahead and glue this piece down. Don't worry about typos. Kits, Mrs. Coggs, and the other one's from, oh, Porch Prints. Okay. Making a 2 signature baby book for your great granddaughter. Oh, lovely. Lots of bright colors and patterns for the 80s theme. Add old cassette tape images, music, and so on. I did one once, and the 80s isn't even an era I was born in. Yeah, 80s colors are very bright. Yeah. It's the patterns more than anything, and maybe printing some old covers and posters like Cyndi Lauper. Okay, gotcha. I can look to see if I happen to have... I wonder if I have an old magazine. I don't know if I have it available nearby. You know, we used to get, what was it, Teen Beat or something like that? God, I can't remember. I've probably got rid of all that stuff years ago, or it's in the attic, and I have no idea where in the attic. We need to go up there and like just dump things. There's so much stuff up there. All right, so I'm just going to layer these. All right, so I was thinking of putting this larger label here, and then I'm going to put the butterfly there. I think the purple stands out better. Yeah, the purple stands out better. Do we need a different color? Let's look at this one. I think these are too close to the same. I think that looks better. Okay, let's glue this down. Oh, I'd love to do a 50s themed soda shop, poodle skirt, saddle shoes. Yeah, that would be super cute. That would be right up my mother-in-law and father-in-law. You know, they would say that they would love to hear and see all that 50s music. There's some here. Yeah, honey, what are you looking for? My magazines from over 40 years ago. And what's funny is, Nicole, I do have some old stuff. I have some things from the late 1990s. Okay, I like that. I'm going to put that down here. Put this back. This has been so helpful to have this little pocket and be able to put all of those in there, and I can see them. I got them off of Amazon. They're 5x7s. Go to thrift stores and see if they have any 80s dress pattern packets, magazines. Yeah, that's an idea. There is a thrift store that isn't as upscale as the others near me, and they have a tendency to hang on to stuff, really old stuff. Yeah, you have some, we all have old stuff. We all hoard. No, I don't know what you're talking about. You were born in the mid-50s. It would be fun to do. Yeah, for sure. I recommend you get it done. So that's cool. So this was scraps that I had left over, and I just placed those onto a base paper. And then I had some scrap from gel printing, and this was out of a advertisement, another scraps that were given to me. This blue paper or purple paper all came from the same scraps. I love this little collage of scrappy pieces. And then this purple glitter. I didn't even add anything to it. I don't think it needs anything else. It's so yummy. All right, so I'm going to set this over here. And let's do another purple one, yeah? So I've got this one. This one I have already stenciled on the back side. And I layered one pocket here, and here is another one. So I'm going to go ahead and fold this in half. And it looks like my paper wasn't completely glued down, so I'm going to add some glue. Okay. And I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to fold this back the other way. So I'm going to line it up. Come on now. Cooperate. Sometimes things don't want to do what I want it to do. Yeah, that helps smooth that out. Okay, perfect. All right. So we're going to glue this piece on here. And apparently I got it really close to the edge, but I'm going to try to center it that way. Use some, let's see, leotards, silhouettes of ladies in big hair. Yeah, okay, I gotcha. You're going to do it right now. Yeah, right. Come on, Margie. Oh, yes. What flowers were the big thing in then? You know, I'm trying to remember what the 80s... I don't remember a lot of flowers. I remember a lot of big, bold prints with lots of color. Okay. This was a little envelope thing that I made a while back. I think I even have a tutorial on it. And I used some scraps. This was a gel print that I used. And I added a little writing space on the back side. And there is an altered paper clip on it. Looks like it got bent just a little bit. Let's fix that. Okay. And that went like this. And I thought that could go right here. And we had this short area. Earlier I saw some purple cardstock. So I got another one. And I'll round the corners to put that in there. Bell bottoms were the 70s. Bell bottoms. Moved to make a 50s journal. Yeah, that was 70s for the bell bottoms. I'll have to ask Norella if she has any 50s designs. I have some rubber stamps that Beeline Designs made that I think they're more 40s and early 50s before poodle skirts. That kind of stuff. Okay. Put that right here. There. Now we have some little layers. I think I need a little embellishment up there at the top. Let's look over here. Maybe, I don't know, maybe that kind of blends in too much. What are we gonna do? I'm looking at my other bin of pre-made things to see if there's something that fits. What fits? This kind of fits purpley, doesn't it? Maybe I'll use that on the other side. Ooh, look at these purples. I have another journal page we might use those on, so I'm going to get them out. Okay, I think we'll go with adding, I don't know if I want to add that up there. Let me look to see. I could add a little bit of paper behind that. Now, should I add a square? I have a rectangle that I could cut and put that across there. Does that look good? Can y'all see that? I could add a little bit of purple to this background. I think these I'm going to use on the other side. So let me trim this piece of book page just to be a little bit smaller. And maybe we can visualize what I'm going to do. Okay. Now, I could put it in the dead center, or I guess I could get down where you can see it. Or in the corner. We have grow here and nature down at the bottom. I do have some, I think that's overkill though. Is that too much? Or do without it? Which is it? I just saw something. What if we were to make that a pocket and we put that in there and then put something on top of here? All right, so tell me, should I use this or not? I think I'm going to use this as a pocket, so I'm going to go ahead and add some distress inks to it. New house. Okay, some pink on the flower. Okay, okay. How about if I get some pink scraps and is that the right shade of pink? It's a painted piece of paper, and I'll get a punch. So give me a moment. I got to go get a punch because it's in the other room. All right, so I got a couple of heart punches. I have a, what do you call that? A country heart. There's a certain heart, primitive heart. And then I have this little bitty one. So let's do this. I'm going to punch it. All right, so here is a little bitty heart, which may be too small. And then here is one. I'm going to do it this way. Okay. Or this size. Something like that. Little heart. Okay, let's see. Let's do a horse. One horse that I'm aware of. Oh, cool. They're in a box somewhere. Yeah, I understand. When you put things away, then you can't find them. All right, we need distress inks to go around the little heart. Okay, I got that. Hello, Elijah. Hello. Okay, so let's cut this piece smaller. Hello, young man. How are you? How old are you now, Elijah? You must be getting big. You're probably as tall as your mama. It says, it's amazing. You're a YouTuber. Well, thank you. Now you can see it better. Ink the heart. Yeah, it needed to be inked. It needed to be inked. Now it shows up a lot better, doesn't it? Okay, so let's glue this together in a moment. He's 8. Oh my goodness. He's going to be driving, going off to college. Wow, it's amazing. It's crazy how long I've known several of you over the years that we've met because of the interweb, because of YouTube. Thank y'all for being my friend and hanging out with me. I've really been blessed to have each and every one of you in my life for the time that you've taken to be a friend, comment on things that I've made, and donations and purchasing from me from my shop. I just really appreciate each and every one of you. All right, I'm going to put the heart kind of up at the top. Your oldest Thomas is driving in his final year of school. Wow. Hey, Sandra, how are you, lady? Thanks for stopping by. All right, I'm going to put this heart here. Now, should we curve that? Yes, kind of curve that so you can see the heart sticking out. Okay, going around. And add this. Let's do it here. Now, do I really need this here, or should I just put it over here? I'm kind of leaning towards putting it on the other page. So what are your thoughts? Should it go where I originally said it was going to go? Or should it go on the other page as a little tuck spot? And I have this journal card that could go behind it. Just as an idea. Y'all tell me what you want. All right, so over here, I have this purple glitter piece. And I thought this card could go behind it. And then we need a little something on the front there. Let me see if there's anything in Norella's images. I don't really remember anything purple. I see flower images. I may need to, I mean, that's kind of purple, but it won't, I mean, if I cut that off and just did that amount, what do you think? Cut it off so it would fit, or I could, I hate to cover up all that glitter though, and make it a pocket this way. I could cut this narrower so it fits, or cut off the pansy so that the butterfly fits. Thank you, Jennifer. Yes, put it inside. Health problems. Well, I'm glad that you're doing better. Okay. Margie says tuck spot on the inside. All right, that's what I'm going to do. Well, I'm assuming you say tuck spot on the inside. All right, so I'm going to glue this down in here as a tuck spot. Okay, let's do that. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Glue it down. Glue it down. So I just put a little glue on the edge, and then I'll just kind of come in just a smidge from the corner. Get my paper towel, wipe away. Okay. Those pansies always look like monkey faces to you. I could, are you saying if I were to cut those off, then I could use the pansies on the other page? And I could see how those look like monkey faces. I could. Is that your idea? I think that might be your idea. I think I'm going to cut it. I'm going to cut it. It's going to be cut. You're going to have to speak really fast if you don't want me to cut it. All right, I cut it. It's been cut. Let's get the Distress ink. All right, that was going to go here. I've got this little piece of music. That I could put a little layers. Oh, we have this tiny, tiny heart that we could put on there. I'll have to use my tweezers to ink it so I can get in there. Okay, so now if I put this guy here, I think that makes a nice little collage on there. Cut it, cut it, cut it. Snip, snip. It's done. It has been snipped. All right, so I'm going to lay that there so we can use it. Getting out my words. How about the word explore? Maybe right there. I think that'll work. Let's put that back where I can find it later. All right, let's glue these down. Here we go. That's glitter. This isn't going to stick very well. So I'm going to use the beacon glue. Since it's textured and its glitter is kind of plastic of some kind, I'm sure. And so Aleene's tacky glue does not like to stick to plastic. All right, so I'm going to do this one. Glue it, glue it, glue it. Here we go. We're gluing it. So I did a bad. I found that my sticky Cricut mat was amazingly helpful for cutting the side away. Oh, that happens. You find out a tool and you're like, oh, I could use that. I save all my old mats, and they do come in handy when you're trying to cut stuff, especially if they're old and they're wore out. So that's a tip for you next time. Don't use your good mat. Use the old mat. Gotta buy more. More. All right, let's put this little bitty heart. That looks cute. I like it. All right, I'm going to turn it over so I can press it down. All right, and now I'm going to glue this as a pocket for that card so it doesn't have to be a gusset. Anything to go shopping. I don't know if you can get that where you are, Naomi, but this is called Zig two-way glue, and you can use this to re-sticky a mat. You just take the nib of it and you push it, and that makes the glue come out. You can get the fat kind. They have one that's even wider, and then you just rub it across your mat, let it air dry, and it'll be sticky again. All right, so let's do this as a pocket. Okay. Glue that down. You're welcome. Zig two-way glue. Tombow also has a two-way that can be used the same way. The kind in the green bottle. That's what Margie says. It's awesome for tip-ins because you can make it a temporary if you want. You can make it like a sticky note. So you can grab a piece of paper. So I'm just going to grab let's just get one of these. You grab a piece of paper, and then you take the glue, and I'm just going to run it right across this edge. Okay, it's a pale blue. You probably can't see it on camera when it's wet. Can you kind of see it a little bit? I'm going to let that air dry, and then I'll show you that it's sticky. Okay, so this is going to go here. I don't want to put it in the pocket yet. This one should be ready to go, so I'm going to put that one in here. And then we're going to use this guy on this side. And I don't know that it needs anything else. I think just sticking it down will give it a nice addition here. Like that. Okay. Yeah, there's spray adhesive too. You got to watch those spray adhesives though. Some of them aren't tacky, they're permanent. I've used a bunch in the past, and so I know how they can grab a hold of stuff. Okay, I like it. So there is another page that we've got done. So I'm going to stick that over here. I've got another one here we can build. All right, so this time I've got some pieces I've started. This is another page that I sprayed the inside, and looks like I have folded it once. I think I'm going to fold it the other way. Nah, I'm just going to leave it. Okay. I made this little card, and I thought it would look good on here, and I found this little envelope that I think will go nicely in there. So I'm going to glue this down as a little tuck spot. So I don't want to come all the way up, so right about here. Okay. Don't like the monkey faces? You can't unsee them? The monkey pansies! Now that you've been told that they're monkey faces, you can't unsee that. Yeah, we'll all never see that. We'll always be like, oh my gosh, that's like a monkey face. That's crazy. Okay, so that's going to go there. So this, I just took some scraps of paper and folded over an edge and made that a little notepad. I thought that would stick that in there. I haven't added anything to this. Should I? Do you think it's good enough? Do you feel like we need to add something on here maybe? I'm looking to see if there's another little something that could go. I know since these are flowers, I have this little Easter bunny. What if I were to get a piece of purple to go behind? I want to trim it just a little bit and then place that. I think that would look pretty cute. Yes? Maybe? Let's add some. Hey, Robin is here. Hello, Robin. Welcome. We're going to miss you, Robin. You can't take a job. You can't take it as a full-time job. No, we're not going to let you. I think I'm going to do it 2 inches-ish wide. Okay. I think it crooked a little bit, but we're just going to go with it. One of Norella's Easter Bunny images. You have a Zig 2-way glue pen, a Triumph flat pen, and you have a bunch! She's gonna start working full time. We can't allow her to do that. I was gonna ask you if you need to go anywhere this week. Let me know. I keep forgetting to tell you that. I am not a person that will contact you to find out if you need to go somewhere. You have to contact me if you need to go somewhere. Doesn't that look cute? And it just kind of adds, I mean, I think it's okay to have nothing on those, because if someone actually writes on them, then that's going to be the next texture. We also have a spot that we can put right here. So I'm going to go ahead and glue this down as a tuck spot. And we need to make a card for this one and make a card for this one. Now I've been doing the cards that go sideways, so I think I'm going to get 2 more of those. I just saw them. 1, 2. You know what we haven't done is I haven't used any fabric or lace. All right, so I'm going to round the corners of this, and then let me look in my fabric stash here, and we will go over to the sewing machine and stitch a little piece of something on there. Let me add some distress inks to this. I'm trying to look without touching to see if I have something purple. I see something right here. See if I can get a hold of it. There's something purple. There's a couple of somethings purple. So I'll get those out. So do we want this one or this one? So this top one here is white fabric that has a print in white on the fabric. If you got any of my subscription boxes, it's a possibility that you got a piece of this fabric. And then what I did was I took some Tattered Angels Glimmer Mists. You could take dyes. You can think coffee, tea, Kool-Aid, paint, and I dyed the fabric, and because there was a white print on the fabric, it resists, and so you can still see the white pattern on the fabric. And then this one is just a piece of fabric that was already this color. So I'm trying to decide if I put that here and I make this relatively short, but put just a little tab right there, then you can pull that out. And then do the same over here. I don't know which one I like better. I think the purple, the dark purple can go over here, and then this lighter purple will go over here. And I also have my ID punch. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to do the sewing machine here in a moment. So thank you, Giovanna, if you're watching in the wings. Thank you for the little sewing lamb. And what I'm going to do is punch this through. So I have holes here. They kind of do look like an ID card, don't they? And I'm going to poke a little piece of this through here. Come on. And I don't want it to be very long, but I am going to kind of adjust it in here and use my fabric scissors to cut it, and then I'll stitch across here with my sewing machine. I'm going to put this back in my purple and do the same thing with this one. Just kind of pop that through. All right. I think I like that. Okay, and I'll cut this one. And then we're going to go over the sewing machine, and I'll do that. You forgot all about the raffle. Well, get into it. Okay. I'm just winding this around so I can actually put this in a different spot because it's bigger than a scrap than I normally put in my little jar. I have these, and I know that I have plenty of that are longer because I will have a project where I want more pieces. All right, so we're going to go over here to the sewing machine. Get things out of the way here. Fabric scissors, you don't have people keep them separate. I know mine are separate because of the fact that this is an orange handle pair of scissors and they're Fiskars. I have other scissors, but none of them are Fiskar brands, and they are all different color handles. So that's how I keep them separate. And the fact that this resides, y'all can't see it from there, but I have a little drawer under my sewing machine. I shared this a while back on Facebook that I bought this little roller cart that's actually for a computer desk, but I'm using it to hold my sewing machine, and they reside in the drawer. I don't leave them on the table, so that if Henry decides he needs a pair of scissors, he does not come get them from my craft room without me telling him where to go. All right, so I'm just going to zigzag stitch. I've got black thread in the upper and black thread in the lower. I don't ever change my needle unless it breaks. Looks like I need to adjust my tension, but I'm not going to take the time right now to do it. I probably have it, I think I do. I think I have it threaded wrong because it's starting to mess up big time. So I guess I am going to take the time to fix it. Sometimes just rethreading it fixes the issue. I'm also going to check the bobbin. It could be that it's almost empty that could be causing the problem. And it could also be that, no, it was loaded right. I was making sure I had loaded it correctly. Okay, we're going to go again. Yeah, it's acting up. Why are you acting that way? I may need a new needle. All right, let's get a scrap. See, why is it that I get mad at it and then it starts to work? There we go. I just had to trick it. These are also another pair of thread or fabric scissors, and they're marked because of the red on them, so they don't get used to cut paper. Oh, gotcha. You found some scissors that were labeled Fabrically. That's awesome. They stole the first. Your kids steal and run away with them. Well, what I know, one lady that she takes a combination lock and locks it through. So you get a lock and it locks through the handle. You have to be a big loop, but you have a lock that goes through here and you lock them and no one can use them. I've seen it. All right, let's put the sewing lamb back in the drawer. Go back to sleep, little lamb. All right, so now this is going to go here, and this one's going to go there. Let's see what we got. Oh, here we go. All right, come on now. How about if we do choose joy? Choose joy. As opposed to Heidi. That's a great idea. We'll see. And doing a combination lock, because you always misplace a key. But if it's a combination lock, surely you can remember that combination. How about we take a grinder to the log just to use them? That's hilarious. Okay, so on this side, we don't have anything. I just saw this image. Look at this really colorful butterfly. Let's see what else we have. Oh, I have another one. It's a calico collage image. So, because I have two of them, we could use those. I just saw something else I might have here. Oh! My pansy doesn't look like a monkey face, though. I have a pansy, and I have a dragonfly. What else we have? Oh. Living alone solved the problem nicely. Cupcake doesn't use your stuff. Yeah. You don't have to worry about it. Okay, I think I found some things that we could use. I've got some hymnal. I'm going to cut a few strips. So here's what I'm thinking. Maybe adding strips and stacking the images behind the strip, or on top of the strip, I guess. The strip would be in the background. Kind of making a little cluster, but we're making it direct on the page instead of a loose piece. Okay, so now I'm going to measure this one. I'm going to do 1.25 inches about. I'll cut it shorter, but I'm just kind of laying it here to see what I think of that idea. And then this one is 1.25 inches. I may have to go wider. Let's see. Well, inch and a half would work. I'm thinking of cutting this right near the other image, so it's a shorter strip. And then let's see if I have this dark purple piece that I think would look good. Come on, go right behind there. Right behind that. And I could cut a piece for both. All right. So, I'm going to cut the music. Cut the music! All right. And then line it up. So about 3.25 inches. So if this is 3.25, and if I go to 3.5, that's not enough. 4 inches. I need to add some distress inks to it, but I think I like that look. What do you think? All right, now I'm going to cut this one. Do the same concept. Not life goes so fast is so very true. think 3 inches will work. Just go up a little bit. Okay. Now I need this piece. If I do 3.5, I can make the border just a little bit narrower. Okay. We've got it. Everybody's the same. Okay, so this is going to go here. Put that like this. Pansy and the dragonfly. So I just need to add distress inks to all of those. I need a drink. All right, let's do that. Yeah, they can't find it if it's something they want. If they need to get it for somebody else, they can't find it. Yeah, Julie. Does he not like peas? My friends that came over for dinner the other night, I didn't know this, but she doesn't like... Was it her that told me this? It seems like it was her that told me this. That she didn't like peas. Oh, it was my neighbor. My neighbor doesn't like peas. She won't eat them. Oh, no. Yeah, I try to keep things in the same spot. Henry's parents purchased for us at Christmas one year a battery organizer. So it has slots for all the different types of batteries. And we put all of the batteries that they gave us, and then I just recently bought some more that I need to put in the box. But we have a cabinet in our utility room, and that's where it resides, so we can find it. No junk drawer that you have to dig through. It's this little, it looks like a little tackle box in a sense. A toolbox. I'll put one there and one there. Sugar snap peas. Those are pretty sweet. They're good and yummy. Let's put broccoli on it, Margie. You moved it, you find it. If you didn't put it back where it belongs. I don't really like tuck spots at the top of a page, so I'm just going to glue it all the way down. So Margie doesn't like broccoli. I like broccoli. And I like cauliflower. I don't really care for Brussels sprouts. Oh my gosh. One of my Facebook friends got in a fight with somebody on social media. It was hilarious. Because this other social media person took Brussels sprouts and dipped them in chocolate and was, I don't know if she was doing it as a surprise for somebody, but this lady said, if I got a Brussels sprout and I was expecting it to be a chocolate truffle or something, I would basically take away your next birthday. Is what I'm saying. Is what she implied to this lady. Because that was not funny. That is not a joke to do to somebody. It's like, okay. Most green stuff, non-edible for Mr. You gotta be able to find the clippers. Okay. You love Brussels sprouts baked in the oven with bacon. Okay. They have a unique flavor, do they not? You agree with her, Margie? When you got married, John said to never buy Brussels sprouts. Well, there you go. Just don't do it. My mother-in-law and father-in-law love, they call them butter beans, but they're lima beans. They just love them. Just put a little bit of salt and pepper and a little bit of butter on them. And I'm like, yeah, no thanks. All right, so there's another page. Done. I've got one more purple page. All right, so there's nothing on the back side of this one. Do we want a stencil, or do you want me to find a page to glue to the back? I can look real fast. See if there's something here that I already have out. I have a digital. I don't know if I want to use it or not, but I could glue that onto the back side. I could look for another. Let's see. Yuck to lima beans. I'll eat broccoli and cauli all the time. Yeah, don't mind Brussels sprouts with cheese sauce. The only veggie you don't like is eggplant. We grew some eggplant, and when we tried to cook it, we did not like it. Sliced up and stir fry with butter, garlic, and bacon. Woo! Those who do not like greens, save them for those who do like greens. Oh, that's hilarious. Okay, I think I'm pulling out my digital items to see if there's something, not in that one. Something that we want to use. I've got this one. Oh, you know what? I'm going to do this one. I changed my mind. I want to do the unicorns. So they're going on. All right. You won't eat okra or creamed corn? Really, Robin? I love okra. I like it fried. I like it in stew. And I like creamed corn. Reminds you of snot. Well, don't be eating snot. It is funny, what some of us like and some of us dislike. Some people are like, I will never eat that. It was almost like you just told them to eat a bug. It's like, no, I am not going to eat that. All right, so there is a pocket on this page. So I want to make sure I have this right side up, and I do. line it up. Line it up as best you can. Trying to line it up so it's not poking out too far. All right. And we'll just dress the edges. Never tried okra? It is a green pod that grows really well in Oklahoma and Texas because it gets so hot. That plant prefers hot weather in order for it to thrive. And so Oklahoma grows it. The plant itself has a stickly hairs on it that it's almost like putting your hands through fiberglass insulation. It is not very pleasant. And so it's a good idea that if you're picking okra, that you wear gloves and long sleeves. But the pod itself is pretty tasty. It doesn't always get slimy after you cook it. It doesn't when it's fried. It's really good when it's fried. Okay, so I have this little petucalope. It's a little tuck spot that Pink Odd Bird did a video of, and I just fell in love with the idea of it. So I'm going to glue this down. It was a book page. I had a book page that I had folded into this shape, and then I just stuck it to the side. And when I found it, I decided to spray it. Yeah, I sprayed it with Tattered Angels. Had to look to make sure. And then I made a little card. I'll try to see. Let's do this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.5. So right about there. And then I did some rubber stamping on it and then folded it back together. And then I happened to have one of those little cards again, so I just layered some papers that I already had. And I think this would look good. Let's put it behind this one. And then this one can go over here. And we just need some kind of an embellishment on top of there. See if I can find. I've got a blue. Oh, and I have these. And what I could do is frame that with purple. Like that. And so it gives us some layers. Let's do that. You say it's not allowed in your house? Oh dear. Just not gonna eat it. Don't do it. All right, put that back in there. Should we stitch it or stamp the edges? What do we want to do? Ew. No, don't want those. No, thank you. Let's not talk about them anymore, please. Okay, so I'm going to put that right here. And maybe I'll find another little card to stick in here. I just saw this. And I could put that, I'd cut it. But that would look good back behind there. Okay, so we're going to do that. And what else can I find that I can use? This is a really thin cardstock. And it's too big. But maybe we can fold it in half. I just saw... I have this little piece of paper. I'm trying to decide if what I should do is cut this and then fold it in half and it would become like a little booklet. That's an option. I'm going to go ahead and cut this piece. You don't like Spam? There's some people who love Spam and there's some people who do not. I'm whatever. It's so expensive now. It used to be a really inexpensive thing that you could eat. I don't eat it. Oh, no chicken giblets. All right, I think I'm going to go ahead and glue that together. Oh, stop talking about it now. Just stop it. Just stop it. I like ice cream. There is a cruise ship that we go on occasionally that every day at lunch they have 2 flavors of gelato, and it's a buffet, so you can just walk up and you tell them what flavor you want and they'll give it to you, and we usually go sit down and eat it and then we come back and get some more. It's usually pretty yummy. On the last cruise we were on, the Norwegian Prima, and there is an area up on the upper decks called the Indulge Food Hall, and there they have a fancy little cart that has glass doors on it that they fill with desserts. So you'll see things like a mousse or a pie or cakes. They have all kinds of little, and they're small portions, not, a 4-inch by 5-inch piece of chocolate cake. It's little bitty pieces. Strawberries and cream ice cream, yeah. You're psychic, yeah. Carrot cake is good. Now, do you like carrot cake with raisins or without raisins? I was listening to the radio the other day. When I'm working out in my yard, I'll put my speaker on so I can listen to the radio. And one of the DJs was talking about eating carrot cake. And she was in the middle of eating it when she spit it out because it had a mushy raisin in it. And she refuses to eat carrot cake that has raisins in it, and it should always be labeled if it has raisins in it. Biscuits. No raisins in carrot cake, but pineapple is good. Oh, that's interesting. All right, I'm going to glue that down here. And I need some little embellishment to put on there, I think. Without raisins. They're too mushy. Yeah. I like to add nuts to my carrot cake. So I'll add nuts, walnuts to it, pecans, depends on what I have. All right, so I use the beacon glue because this is a gel print at the bottom here. Okay, Smoothen that out. All right, so we have the unicorn on that side. I need a little image to put on here. I don't know if I have any other purple. If I had another unicorn image, but I don't think I do in here. I do have this butterfly image. It's on thin paper, but we could make it into a card. Oh, I do have this unicorn. I think the paper got printed weird, but I may save that. Okay, so I'm going to take, oh, my nose itches. Does this need an additional layer? That's not big enough, is it? But this one might be. Okay, I think that would work. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to trim this down. And I think I'm going to get a piece of ivory cardstock and glue that onto it. I'm just trimming it just a little bit narrow. There we go. So this one will go here. And then I'll get I've got some pre-cut cards from Canvas Corp brand, so I'm using those up. So I'm going to glue this onto my piece of paper, and then I will cut it. Okay. Sometimes we create more scraps. That's okay. All right, so now I'll distress this and glue that and distress it. Okay. Carrot curry salad. I'm not a curry person. That's not what I grew up eating, so I have a hard time with that spice palette. I feel it's too spicy on my tongue, and I don't like it. I don't like foods that if I put it in my mouth and it burns. Not because of the temperature, but because of the spices that were used. Yeah, that's not my jam. Not my jam. Okay, I'm just going to squish that for a moment. There's an Afghani rice that has carrots and raisins. Oh, interesting. That's another thing, when we do go on cruises that offer different types of food that we're not used to, we try them. They may not be something I'll go back for seconds on or order again the next time, but I'll try something just to see if it's the thing that I like. I have friends who love the spicy foods. And I'm like, I love you, but I can't eat that. It does not go well for me. Okay. So this can go right here. And this can go right here. Cool! I like it. All right, so this side is already pretty much, I'm going to score it because it's thicker feeling. Just trying to score it so that it's easier to fold. since it's all those thicknesses of paper. Okay. All right, so we got the unicorn on that side, and then this opens up. I could put another piece of paper on here, but I'm kind of thinking, I don't know. Let's look. I could make that a writing space on here, but I hate to cover up the image. So here's what I'll do. I am going to just add distress inks to a piece of paper and then stick it in the back. And then it's there in case it is wanted at a later time. Yeah, there's a large variety of foods. Everybody can eat what they like. Exactly. Just find what you enjoy. What do you like? I try out as many seafood, fish type things whenever we go on vacation, because the food is generally included with our cruise fare. And I like to go ahead and just try a few things and see if there's something that I've never had before that I might like. Alrighty. I didn't use these, so I'm just going to put the purple scraps back into my little purple folder. I'm going to stick this piece right here. And I think I'm going to be done using purples. And I just so happen to have my package of purple. So I'm going to pull that out here. And so I'm going to take what's left of this stack of purple and poke that down inside of my bigger bag here. And I can put this away because I've made all the purple things that I'm going to make for right now. Now, I may want a touch of purple for something else, but I have all of the scraps that fit in. This is a large priority mailbox. I had picked them up to do some shipping with them and ended up, I bought the appropriate size box that I actually needed. And when I did that, I said, well, I can use these. I got a piece of paper that didn't want to go down in there. Get in there. To sort my paper, because they're big enough that I could put scraps in it and label them and everything. And it keeps it all contained so that I can put it on a shelf. And when I know I want purple, I just grab this box and then I can use that in my project. So I'm going to get out the pages that we made today. So let's go back. This is the first one we made. So I had already had this little pocket piece, and I layered it onto another piece of paper and had some glitter paper that I used. And this was scrapbook papers left over. And then all this purple, the same shade of purple, all came from my friend's mom who had all that paper. I like this little side card going this way. And then there's writing space on there. And then made the writing space here, altering a watercolored image to match what I want it to be. And this one, Again, with some scrapbook paper. This was a gel print. This was made during a workshop when I went to Creativation. They had these 5.5 or 6-inch gel plates and stamps and stencils that we were allowed to use, and so I played around with the purple. This is a gel print here that I made later, and then this is another gel print there, so it's kind of fun to see all the layers. Even this piece has a gel print in the back of that as well. Used the scrap that was cut off of this journal card to make a pocket. This was a card that I made a while back where I had some painted papers that I rubber stamped on top of, and then this was some mixed media paper that I had, and a heart that I cut out, rubber stamp flower, and I just put it on a piece of craft colored cardstock. This is a mop-up page, and then this is a card that I made a while back, and this I made today. And the monkey faces. I'll never forget that. This is another mop-up page. It was the opposite. So this is where I sprayed through, and this is where I mopped up. I like both. It just kind of depends on my mood. And then scraps of paper, rubber stamped images, calico collage images, sheet music behind. And then this is a busy page of color. So this is a gel print that I made into a little envelope so we can put something in there later. And then I've got a little journal card tag that went this way. And then over here we have a little notepad. And this was scrapbook cardstock that I had left over, and I just cut it into equal size pockets, and I thought they were perfect. Another, pardon me, piece of cardstock there. Purple, purple, purple. I like it. And then this is one of Norella's images. There's a purple scrap. I'm going to throw it away. From her Unicorn Dreams, I think that's correct. And then I had scrapbook paper and a gel print. And then these were all digital image from Calico Collage, digital image from Calico Collage. That's a digital image from Calico Collage. Scrapbook paper, mixed media paper, glitter paper to make all kinds of pretty pieces. One of those tear-off notepad papers. I thought that would be good to have for additional writing space. And then over here is another mixed media card. Little fancy pocket. And then back to the unicorn. The cute bunny. Isn't that a cute bunny? So this could be a fun journal. I could keep it all as a purple theme, or what I might do is pick a little bit of each color and put one together. I don't know. I haven't decided yet. This could be a fun kettle stitch journal where I attach them to where each spread opens out. That might be something I do. Maybe add a couple of more blank pages, like this kind of paper in between. I don't know. Is that what we want to do? I may, since all of these are thicker, I may do some gluing of some papers together so that it's thicker, or using, because I know that Robin likes to use cardstock. I may have to look at my cardstock and see what I have. I know that I have some purple text weight paper, and I could always glue some of those together to get thicker paper. Maybe I'll do 1, 2, 3 of them, and then that would make this a nice chunky, I don't know. What do you think? Oh, hey, Flora. So glad you stopped by. I'm getting ready to leave now. If you haven't already, entered the raffle for some junk bucks so you can goof off and play the games, or you can redeem those once you have 2,000 of them for a $10 off coupon to my shop. Hey, Christine, thanks for coming in. Hello, hello, hello. We had a good crowd today. Thank you for your donations, for your thumbs up, your likes, your comments. Hey, leave me a comment after this video. Let me know what was your favorite about today. And then what do you think I should do with these purples? Should I make a purple journal or mix these up with some of my other pages and really make an eclectic journal? So, kind of mix in, that's a green, there's another green, here's some pinks, I've got another pinky purple. I don't know. So let me know what you think we should do. We're going to pick a winner of 200 junk bucks here in just a moment. Again, thank y'all for being here. Thank you for hanging out with me. I greatly appreciate your support. All right, I'm going to pick a winner. That winner is Julie. All right, I'll get that added to your account. Julie, currency. Let's go, Julie. Here. Come on, Julie. There she is. You need a few more junk bucks, All right, we could do a 600. There we go. Alrighty. Well, I'm going to get off here. I want to thank each and every one of you for being here again. I greatly appreciate your support and hanging out with me. I hope you enjoyed this session and you are inspired. I'm going to take some pictures of these, I think, to create. I like how this one turned out. And this one, of course. Hercules, what are you doing, buddy? Lots of pretty purples there. 2 weeks in a row. Oh. Well, yeah, are you trying to create a YouTube? If you've got a YouTube account, you'll be added. And if you're trying to create an account on my website, it's been having issues. Send me an email to emailme@lindaisrael.com and I can manually add you because my website has been giving me fits and I have disabled some stuff because of it. I had 20,000 spammed new users to my website. And I don't have that many active people. So I had to disable it because I kept getting spammed. It's like, nope, we're not doing this. No problem. Rewatch this if you were like. I hope you enjoy it. I encourage each of you to do something creative this week. Whatever it may be, whatever your task of creativity that you like, whether it be crocheting and sewing or going out and playing in the garden, using paper to make something, do something creative and then do something kind for someone else. There are so many people that are hurting in this world, and a word of encouragement goes a long way. Open the door for somebody. Reach out to a friend you maybe haven't talked to in a little while. Send a letter, send a card. We were talking the other night that people don't write letters anymore because we have email, so they don't actually sit down and handwrite a letter. But maybe that's what you need to do for somebody. Thank you, each and every one of you, for being here. Thank you so very much for your donations, your time, the thumbs up, sharing this video. I greatly appreciate you so very much. I wish you many blessings beyond measure. And thank you so much for hanging out here. I greatly appreciate it. I think next week might be fairy tales. Okay, you want me to do fairy tales? Okay, gotcha. I may do fairy tales next week. We'll see. Fairy tales or continue purple. All right. Y'all have an amazing day. Lots of love to each and every one of you. Y'all take care. Bye, everybody.